The project basically came to us through his lawyer. We were doing a number of projects, prestige projects for other high wealth individuals on the coast. So we had a bit of a track record, and we'd also been doing a lot of resort type work. The brief was to come up with, for the Gold Coast, something that was international standard, that accommodated all of their needs, the rooms and things they wanted in it, and something that was quite striking. It was a fairly open brief in that sense. We had fairly free rein. There weren't clients that came along with sketches on the back of a napkin saying this is what we want. It was really, how can you give us what we want? It was also to do something that was quite cutting edge technologically, to incorporate the latest in materials, the latest in trends with regards finishes for the internals, and also for the services, to incorporate the latest and greatest in air conditioning systems and lighting systems, something that could compete with anything internationally. All up, it was probably a good 18 months from start until the design was completed. We started with very simplistic bubble diagrams, like block diagrams, just saying, okay, this is the relationship of the rooms. You've got to address how you get your cars down to your basement, where we can put the ramp so it's not right in the middle of your block. You're going to put the kitchen over here where we get the eastern sun in the morning. We'll put your bar over here so you can see the sunset over the mountains in the evening, to generally get the gist of where everything would sit relative to one another. And that was over 3 levels, obviously. So they had the basement, which contained kitchens and as well as car storage and cold rooms and the rest. And then the main kind of living area at ground floor, and then the bedrooms and so on at the upper levels. Before CAD became a common thing where you could model all these things up in a computer form, a lot of that had to be done by hand. The engineers and our architects kind of drawing it up was a very complicated process to make sure that everything fitted and interrelated and worked. From the air, you really do see the kind of true form of the roof relate to the shape of the block. Designed from the street side, having less of a presence, bring the scale down to kind of street level. So rather than having a great big edifice that just comes up 3 stories out of the ground right on the street, having that kind of fan out to the spatial side where you've got the broadwater in front of you, you can have the height and the scale on the waterfront. Putting the wing type arc or curve into it's quite unique for a traditional skillion roof, and I think that's probably due to the fan-shaped block. Obviously on the water side it presents quite differently because you've got the full height glass facing up towards Surfers Paradise, and also facing south to try and maximise the amount of natural light and ventilation. Breaking the scale down so that the street front wasn't too imposing. You can be very showy off with architecture, or you can be kind of more discreet. So that was the kind of intention, to kind of downplay it so that as you walked your way through the house, you came across all the different experiences that opened up. We had a full team of interior designers working on this project, as well as doing the architectural side of things. That was designed as a cantilever type stringer stair. It's very organic in the sense that it looks like a skeleton, a spine with the ribs coming off it which support the treads. Well, the pool, obviously facing south, you've got the issues here on the coast with southeasterly winds. That's why the pool kind of is an internal-external pool, so in when there's a blowing southerly you can come inside and still be swimming. The bar was associated with the pool, obviously for the reason that you like to have a drink around the pool, facing to the west, as I said, so you can enjoy the sunsets. Obviously having those kind of curved forms that were introduced in both plan and in the roof shape, we tried to keep that kind of organic feel right throughout the interior design. And you notice that the kitchen galley type nautical themes, and harking back to the client has a background in super yachts, relates back to kind of nautical type influences. Well, when you've got a client who's willing to kind of embrace kind of design, it's a lot of fun to go out there and not just repeat the same module, putting in different places. You can treat each room as an individual element. It sits over 4,000 square metres. You've got to fill it up with beautiful furniture and artwork, otherwise it just looks like a great big empty barn. What I love about that home is one of my first projects here on the Gold Coast is that it's stood the test of time. It still could be a house that was designed and built today, even though it's 20 years old.